I have understood the importance of money. Currently, I'm paying almost 65,000 for a junior KG. But we have been investing into SIPs, mutual funds, and some the kind of debentures or bonds to be on the safer side of investment. You just keep your money into savings account. It is below inflation, so you are getting a negative return kind of thing. There's no point keeping your idle cash in your. Okay, when he would be into his undergraduate, I have to keep some amount ready, which would be in terms of crores. So it would be almost 1.5 CR and above, which is a very big amount.
Hi everyone, I am Diksha and welcome back to Chasing Dreams with EduFund, a series where we explore the financial journeys of Indian parents and figure out how they are trying to provide the best education possible for their child's education. As a guest for today's session, we'll be having a conversation with Dr. Niddhi, a finance professor at a B school. She has certain goals set for her child's future education. Let's find out how she's trying to plan for his education cost and get some interesting insights and tips from Niddhi herself. So, hi Niddhi and welcome to EduFund.
Hello Diksha, thanks for giving me this opportunity.
So first up, Niddhi, could you please talk a little bit about your education experience and what was it like basically?
So I'll start my journey from what I'm doing currently. I'm working as an assistant professor at Sri Balaji University, Pune for last 1 year and so in the field of finance. And prior to this place, I was in Kolkata where I was teaching MBA and BBA students. And I completed my PhD in the year 2017 and I did my MBA from BIT Mishra, Ranchi. I did my +2 from Holy Cross School, Bokaro in Commerce.
So you mentioned you did your MBA from IBS, right? And it's a prestigious college.
Right.
I'm sure it must have been a bit heavy on your pockets as well. So what was managing the finances of your MBA like?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. Any MBA degree would require a big amount of investment. I did it in year 2006, but today as I'm teaching MBA students, I can make out the difference because the cost of education is going high. But I took the education loan and my father was paying the interest part, and when I started doing my job, from my first salary itself, I started paying off my liabilities and debt. But during my MBA, I got the chance of getting into the scholarship.
Okay.
I was the topper of my college and I was awarded with gold medalist for having secured the top position. So I could minimize my education cost during my MBA by almost 50% or 60%. So it had also motivated me, to work hard, to maintain my position and, to be in the habit of how to save cost basically.
50% of your education cost for MBA were being managed through scholarships. So even after cutting it in half, you had to go for a loan, right? So your savings were not enough to pay for that. So was that the point in your life when you realized that this is how much an education costs? And if you're not prepared in advance, you never know what's going to happen in the future. Maybe your loan gets rejected. Maybe you're not able to get a scholarship. So, was this the kind of turning point for you to realize that I need to start saving?
Yes, definitely it was a trigger point, you can say. And as we were four, so my father was a banker and he had to take care of all 4 kids. And luckily all 4 of us have done MBA.
Oh wow!
Right?
Okay.
So that's a very good thing. He wanted that his daughter should be self-sufficient in the future. Also, each of one of us have taken study loan, and then we have paid it off finally. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was one of the trigger point where I have understood the importance of money into a financial planning kind of thing. Although I was not working, but the moment I stepped into my corporate job, I tried my best after paying off my liabilities, whatever was being saved. I used to save a minimum bucks, like say some $1,000. I was happy with it because I could save something.
Right.
And it was definitely something that I would say that it has motivated me to start some early savings from my MBA days.
Right. A very inspiring journey. So I would like to talk a bit about your son. So could you please tell us a bit about your son, about his schooling, about his education at this moment?
Yeah, he's just 4+. So he's
Okay.
4.2 years old. He's into junior KG.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's into like a preschool kind of thing. And
Okay.
he started from nursery, then junior KG, next would be senior KG.
Okay.
And after that, from standard 1, definitely I would like to switch him to a bigger school and all for his primary education and all, right? And the cost of education is rising.
Absolutely.
Yeah, over the past 10 years, if you can say that CPI was almost 6%, where the education inflation was almost running at 10 to 12%, almost
Right.
in that bracket. So it was almost double.
Right.
We only used to know that the prices of some goods, as well, veggies and all is going up, but how many parents or individuals or couples are aware of that cost of education is actually rising in what percentage?
Exactly.
So definitely, planning for the child education and making the plan in the right direction along with finalizing your goals are very much important. If you don't plan early, you would be lagging behind, and competition is getting tense, tremendous. So you have to plan in advance.
Yes, exactly. And you actually mentioned a very interesting point. A lot of parents are aware of the the rising cost of, let's say, tomatoes and other fruits or vegetables, but no one is really aware of how much the rate with which education costs are rising.
Right.
And this is something that absolutely requires advanced planning. And speaking of that, so what is the cost of your child's current education like? And you must be looking for his next school as well, right? He's soon gonna be going to first grade. So you must have started exploring other schools as well. So have you looked into the cost of it all, or what was it like basically to find out this is how much you will be paying for his first grade, just the first grade?
Yeah, so currently I'm paying almost 65,000 for a junior KG as an annual fees.
Okay.
And as he stays in daycare, as I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
so it's an additional cost to me. So it's like per hour, per month charges.
Okay.
So he stays there for 7 hours. So almost 7 hours. So 7,000 per month is the additional cost for me. So definitely it is added up to the like cost of education.
Right.
And it would be like that, only like slowly increasing in the senior grade and all, and from grade 1 and all, definitely in the city like Pune, so they charge minimum around 1.1, 1.2 or above that, depending on the types of school, private schools and all.
Right.
So it would be in the range of 1 lakh plus, that I know. Yeah, so ultimately it's a big amount. If you see the quality of education, and he's just into junior KG, or he would be going into senior KG. So mentally I have to prepare that yes, definitely 1 lakh plus is the cost, minimum cost. And then every month they have some of the other activities, other things and all, this function, that function. So that is an added cost which will keep on recurring, throughout the entire school time and all.
And so were you aware of these expenses in advance, or you just found out, okay, wow, I am going to have to pay this much for this as well? So one more addition to the cost of education.
Yes, we were aware, but not exactly in terms of the quantum of amount we had to pay, because suddenly I resumed my job and my son had to go to daycare.
Right.
So that is why it came as an added cost only, and then we were ready to pay for it, because if you want some kind of service, you should be mentally prepared to spend that much.
Right.
But I'm happy with it. That's the way it goes, so it is all right.
Right. How do you currently approach your son's education cost? Because you're saying that it's a minimum, like once he starts his first grade, let's say, it's going to be a minimum of 1 lakh for a year.
Yes, true.
So, like for 12 years, it's going to be much more than 12 lakhs,
Correct.
right? So, how are you approaching the savings for his education at the moment?
Yeah. So whatever investment and savings we have started doing, it is not in his name at this point of time. Definitely I would be doing that in the future. But we have been investing into SIPs, mutual funds, and some the kind of debentures or bonds, to be on the safer side of investment, something into real estate as a very long-term investment. So it's a mixed financial planning, you can say, but at this point the exposure to equity and into mutual fund and like direct equity related products are higher.
Okay.
And whatever is the present cost of education as on date, it would rise by 4 times
Absolutely.
once he reaches his graduation, or say in 15, 17 years.
Right.
So there would be a 4 times increase. I have to be mentally prepared for it. So
Right.
definitely out of the savings, and we are also keeping some contingency fund into account for any kind of financial emergency if it crops up in our family. And so from that, everything is being managed. And yes, definitely I want to add that insurance is also one kind of long-term
Right.
investment kind of thing that is being done as a financial security.
Okay.
So accordingly, you have to keep some liquid cash into account, something into equity related product. If you want higher returns, you have to invest into that, and a little bit safer also you have to go. So it is
Right.
a mixed portfolio, you can say.
Do you think it's too soon to think about that, because right now you want to focus on school education, because that's also very expensive, right? So you want to focus on that right now and set us put the college cost, college planning aside, or you want to keep investing or saving for both of these different expenses?
She asked a very interesting question because many parents are not prepared for it,
Right.
if you ask them upfront. But definitely, I don't want to lose on time because, time is passing by and we know the cost is rising.
The power of
So,
compounding.
yeah, power of compounding. If you just keep your money into savings account, it is
Right.
below inflation. So, you are getting a negative return kind of thing. There's no point keeping your idle cash in your account.
Absolutely.
So definitely, along with the present requirement of his education and the future planning it has to go in sync. It has to be combined together. So
Right.
from now, I have already started doing it, but mentally also I need to keep that thing in mind that yes, every time that yes, I'm saving something, I'm doing something. Whatever is doing, it is done for him only, for his
Right.
education cost and all. And once he becomes self-sufficient and all after his graduation or so, I would be free from that kind of burden and so.
Right.
And he has to be independent. I mean, hence now he has to be in the habit of getting that independence or getting responsible, accountable for, and you should respect money also.
Right.
Because it doesn't come to us easily, right? It is a hard-earned money. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
it is something which I want him to understand at a very young age.
So when do you think parents should start teaching about money management to their kids? And being a finance professor yourself and coming from a financial background, what are the tips and skills you would like to impart upon your son?
Yeah, as soon as children starts understanding your language, it is not like there's no particular age. It can be at the age
Right.
of 2, 3, 4, depending on how your child is achieving the milestone and all. So it is never too early to start. I can say for starting from 2 years, 3 years, whatever. See, children keep on demanding for something. Let's say my son is very fond of cars and all,
Right.
toys, cars. So whenever I take him out to the market, he'll start demanding that, Mama, give me one toy, get me one toy and all. Just one today. I said okay. Initially, I used to give him, but
Okay.
now later he doesn't respect that. He thinks that whatever I demand, it will be fulfilled by my parents. And
Yeah,
I
things are
started
free.
getting in the habit. I don't have money. From where you can check my purse, wallet. I have not brought it. No, you can do it online. I know that you can do it from your mobile. So they're very
They're getting
smart.
smarter.
I said,
Yes.
no, there's no money actually. So I'm just empty-handed. I cannot bring everything for you.
Right.
You have to study. You have to, complete your homework and follow your instructions. Whatever you're getting into your school and all. So sometimes he thinks that yes. Then he has a piggy bank. So he says that okay, I'll bring the money. I said okay. You just count and see how much you have saved, and you can afford it.
Right.
So definitely, and when he will start growing up, he will understand the basic concept of money, maybe at the age of 6, 7 or whatever. I cannot predict, it's too early
Right,
to
right.
predict that. So definitely some, money management exercise, you just give him some money and say, how do you manage your budget? If you have to buy something on the priority list, so how would you buy and how would you spend, how would you save and all. These kinds of activities can always be done with kid.
Right.
It is always good, because we teach those things to our B school students, and definitely they are going to land up in their job and start their corporate journey very soon after
Right.
completing 2 years of MBA. So why not, inculcate that habit since the time they have understood. They have understood the outer world. You can say that instead
Right.
of just talking about money.
Previously, you mentioned that you do have different, strategies to plan for your son's college education as well. But do you have specific investments, specific goals in mind, which are completely dedicated to your son's college, or completely dedicated to his UG, PG, and maybe
Okay.
10th grade, 12th grade? So basically, goal-based saving plans. So do you currently, have such kind of plans? And how important are these kind of plans, for parents?
So see, planning is always important in life. Whatever you do, a small activity to deciding about what do you want to do in your life, to anything, any action you take, you should be responsible for that.
Right.
So planning ahead is always a very good thing. So definitely with goal-based planning, something has been divided into short-term and then medium-term and long-term goals. And if you talk about his education, when he will be into his undergraduate, bachelor's, or maybe in PG, definitely it's a long-term goals for me. But medium to long-term goal, which would cater for around, let's say, 5 years plus to 10, 15, 20 years, till the time I stay invested into that particular financial instrument or so. So it is definitely from medium to long-term investment goal perspective, definitely.
Okay.
And I was just roughly doing some calculation and got to know that okay, when he will be into his undergraduate, I have to keep some amount ready, which would be in terms of crores. So it would be
Absolutely.
almost 1.5 CR and above, which is a very big amount. If I start assuming that figure now, right now I'm not having that much of cash where I can definitely fund and all. But definitely with the right kind of investment, as I said, if you want your money to grow, you have to invest into mutual funds, equity related products and all to get good return CAGR in the future. So that thing has to be ongoing. It's nothing that I would only stay invested for 5 years or 7 years. It has to be for 10 to 15 years. I slowly have to increase my amount as well, right?
Right.
I should not be like that. My risk appetite has come down, so I will just withdraw my exposure from equity, switch to debt funds or so. Something has to be there. Like it has to be ongoing. Definitely, then only you can get your goals achieved. And at the end, what we want that we should not run after money all the time.
Absolutely.
Money should also work for you. So if you want that thing to happen, definitely you have to stay invested in the right line of goals.
Absolutely.
And keeping into account your risk level. So risk and return, your goals versus your risk appetite has to be on the common page, basically.
Absolutely, very well put. Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of Chasing Dreams with EduFund. We'll be coming back to explore more financial stories of Indian parents, and we'll give you more financial tips. So stay tuned for that and have a great day.